2,000 years ago, and that he lived in Palestine. We know he was baptized and became a preacher. And we know that he was publicly executed.
What manner of man is this, that even the winds and the seas obey him?
With so little evidence to go by, archaeologists must sift the clues, and scholars decode the stories told by the first followers of Jesus.
The problem for any historian in trying to reconstruct the life of Jesus is simply that we don't have sources that come from the actual time of Jesus himself.
The historian's task
It still appears, though. Very stream.
Central to the story is the fact that Jesus was born a subject of the Roman Empire.
And in those days a decree went out from Caesar Augustus, that all the world should be taxed.
Jesus was born during the reign of the Emperor Augustus in the sort of a booming economy of the Pax Romana, the Roman peace. And on every coin that Augustus had were the words Divi Filius, son of the Divine One, Julius Caesar, son of God.
This is on every billboard in the Mediterranean world. He is the savior of the world, and he brings the peace. Now, you may have scruples about how he brings the peace, but he brings peace to Rome, and as the saying goes in Latin, peace to the Rome and quiet to the provinces. He is the savior of the world, and he brings the peace.
This is he, Augustus Caesar, son of a god, who shall restore the golden age and spread his empire.
Rome's empire spread across the Mediterranean, sweeping through North Africa and reaching as far west as Spain. To the east, it encompassed Egypt, Turkey, Greece, and Palestine, where Jesus was born in the Jewish land of Judea, then ruled by King Herod.
In Judea, the king Herod was in effect a client king. He ruled almost in place of Rome. He was the voice of Rome, the instrument of Rome. Probably instrument of Rome is best in that, because he had his own independent notion, certainly.
Herod the Great was probably one of the greatest kings of the post-biblical period in Israel, but you wouldn't want your daughter to date him. He was ambitious, brutal, extremely successful.
And it is one of the real untold ironies of Jewish history that this man, who's the guy you love to hate in Jewish history, really, leaves the most indelible mark on the face of the land of Israel.
It appears that Herod thought of Jerusalem as his showpiece. He really wanted to make it a place where people would come just as people would have gone to Athens or Rome or the great cities of the Mediterranean world.
A meticulously accurate model of ancient Jerusalem shows the extraordinary scale of Herod's building program.
And so when Herod built the city, or helped to rebuild the city, he did so on a monumental scale. And this can be seen in the rebuilding of the temple.
We know exactly how Herod rebuilt the temple because detailed descriptions of the architecture have survived. Along the coast, Herod constructed an aqueduct 40 miles long. It brought water to a new seaport he had built. In honor of the Roman Emperor Caesar, Herod named the city Caesarea.
We really need to get a feel for a city like Caesarea Maritima at the time of Jesus, precisely because it shows the crucial intersection of Roman rule in Jesus' own homeland.
In this thriving seaport, the power of Rome, its culture and commerce, commanded every aspect of daily life.
In the middle of the city was a Roman city, complete with the Capitol, temples to the deified Roma, that is the personification of Rome itself. The political reality of the day was of a dominant power overseeing the life on a day-to-day basis.
Into this political climate, Jesus was born. The Gospels present the familiar account of his birth.
And she gave birth to her firstborn son, and wrapped him in bands of cloth, and laid him in a manger, because there was no place for them in the inn.
Our best guess for the birth date of Jesus would be 4 BCE. In other words, he was born before the death of Herod the Great, who died in 4 BCE. But I emphasize best and guess.
The Gospels claim Jesus was born in Bethlehem. Historians think it is more likely that he was born and grew up near the Sea of Galilee, in the village called Nazareth.
The region was known for being a hotbed of political activity, some of it violent. In the last few generations of New Testament scholarship, the Galilee has achieved this reputation for being the hotbed of radicalism. You know, the 60s Berkeley of Palestine.
The Galilee, by most of the traditional accounts, is always portrayed as a kind of bucolic backwater. Peasants on the hillsides. And yet, our recent archaeological discoveries have shown this not to be the case. Nazareth stands less than 4 miles from a major urban center, Sepphoris. Sepphoris was founded as the capital of the Galilee. And so it was really invested, much like Caesarea Maritima, with all the trappings of Greek or Roman city life.
Recent archaeological discoveries at Sepphoris challenge the conventional picture of Jesus' life.
One of the more exciting discoveries that we made at Sepphoris was a magnificent Roman villa with a gorgeous, gorgeous mosaic on its floor in a banquet hall. The lady was dubbed Mona Lisa by the press when we found her because she is really an extraordinary depiction of a beautiful woman of Roman antiquity. And the picture we get is a community very much in the mainstream, but on the high end of the scale. Sepphoris was not just a city with houses and with waterworks and things like that, but it had satellite settlements around. Nazareth, to all intents and purpose, was a satellite village attached to the region or municipality of Sepphoris.
The findings really are requiring us completely to rethink Jesus' social economic setting, because we really had thought of Jesus as being really out in the hinterland, utterly removed from urban life, especially Roman-influenced urban life. What the excavations at Sepphoris suggest is that Jesus was quite proximate to a thriving and sophisticated urban environment that would have brought with it all of the diversity of the Roman Empire, and would have required, just to get on, as the price of doing business, a level of sophistication that one would not have thought